So we need to fill these 3 gaps, this gap, and this gap. We can pick 4 foreign players at max, and we need to see who is fitting in what category. First, we had Sean up here. Now we no longer have Sean. So right-handed, left, right, and then doesn't count.
So at the very start of the retention and trade window, we had this very clear vision that we want to keep the local core of our players with us, the maximum amount of local players. And the reason for that is that we all know that franchise cricket is expanding every single day. And it's going to, in the coming years, we feel that it's going to get challenging to get the pick of foreign players in the coming years.
With increased competition for overseas players around the world, we have, an American league starting up in the summer. We've got the ILT20 and the SAT20 being played in January. Next year there will be a clash, I think a full clash between the IPL and the PSL. And so we considered the quality of the local core of players to be one of the things that we were very keen to keep as strong as possible.
4 overseas, so Samir can't play.
Yeah,
But so
Kashmir is not there in there playing in our
good point. So they have an emerging opener. This could be Fajr Abid, or it could be not Yasir. Yes. Either or. What probably yes.
एज ए हेड कोच मैंने जब भी जिस भी टीम के साथ रहा हूँ एज ए हेड कोच, मेरा सबसे पहला ये होता है कि फेयरलेस क्रिकेट हम खेलें और स्ट्रेटजी प्लानिंग के साथ खेलें. रूथलेस ना हो, फेयरलेस ज़रूर हो लेकिन ruthless now.
What is the difference between David Willey and the bowler that we're likely to get if we don't take him as the first pick in white?
Yep.
Then we can look at if it's Carl Lyers, our first pick as a batter, we choose to take him. What's the difference between him and the guy that we're likely to get if we don't take him first?
Yep.
And he goes. That choice could be left until the gold round.
Yeah.
Because you'll make your first 2 picks regardless.
Exactly my word. Yeah.
And then, dependent on what Zalmi does with gold one, he was talking about Noor, he was talking about the Fujir, he was talking about Shtana, the Shana.
Right, Mujib / Noor.
Noor.
Yeah. That makes sense. Diamond one. Yeah.
देखिए, Multan has had phenomenal success over the past 4 years. We were looking at actually before the draft, I had Freddie Wild from who's in CricViz, and they worked with Pakistan team as well. He's now with the ECB. So we had him do analysis of Multan Sultans' performance over the past 4 years since Andy took over, and we have a 64% winning record, which is the highest in PSL. So obviously I'm coming in to fill very, very big shoes as the most successful team in this time, and 3 finals in 3 years. So obviously the pressure is very high, and the goal will be to continue my Chacha's very successful legacy.
If we go with a different structure for us, and we have a C-bowler, left-handed explosive opener in emerging with Rizwan, that I think is our strongest side, because then we don't have emerging bowler, and we have more reliable bowlers as locals.
So discussions are still going on. We've still got a full day of meetings today, and I'm sure there'll be meetings in the morning as well. The interesting thing about a draft is that you can walk into the draft knowing every decision that you're going to make.
I'm so happy we have 2 picks in silver and 2 picks in gold. So good. Back to back.
What we did was that rather than doing just a player-to-player trade, we made sure that in every single trade we got some good picks as well, because we knew the kind of players that we were trading were the players that you probably won't find anywhere else. So it was our leverage to get some good picks rather than just getting a player out of that particular trade. So that was our strategy.
ट्रेड हमने की, लेकिन उसमें मैं पर्सनली एज ए हेड कोच मैं समझता हूँ कि हम स्ट्रॉन्गर साइड पे हैं, और हमने प्लैटिनम की पहली पिक ले ली, हमने डायमंड की पहली पिक ले ली. तो आप दोनों यानी कैटेगरीज़ में आप पहले नंबर पे हों, तो जो बेस्ट प्लेयर है वो आप उसको उठा सकते हैं.
How many platinum picks do they have?
One.
Two?
Two.
I think Ryan
Both
is
of us.
platinum. Yeah.
Two. Third and
So
second.
Mohammad Amir will probably be the second pick.
Yeah, P2.
Yeah. First would be?
Yes. Some better. Yeah. Which
So this is our pick.
Yeah.
First. Second is Karachi.
Yeah.
Third is Islamabad.
Yeah.
Fourth is Peshawar.
Yeah.
Fifth is Quetta. Sixth is
Lahore.
Lahore. I'm not really sure Lahore is with the who Lahore is.
Sam
with.
Bennett.
I think being a general manager itself is challenging, but when you are a female general manager and somebody who's doing it on this level for the first time, it's definitely challenging, a little bit scary and very overwhelming at times. एक franchise में बहुत सारे different departments होते हैं and you have to look after every single one of them. You have to make sure that all the departments are working correctly in sync together. I guess it's very fast paced as well. Things change in a matter of seconds here.
But if the Khushi are both our pace hitters, right? So we need some different characteristics in the middle as well. Because Ifti and Khushi are both going to destroy fast bowling. The analysis we had done for all the seasons that Andy Flower and Rahman Bhai have been running Multan Sultans, we want to see what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, when we're building our new squad, what holes are we filling and what weaknesses are we overcoming. So what we found was that our strength was our batting, especially our middle and death batting. Our power play batting was good. We were number 1 in wicket prevention, but we were number 3, number 4, depending on the season, in terms of runs scored and match impact. So what we needed to do was get a more dynamic opening pair with someone with Rizwan. We also need to have better power play bowling and death bowling. So those are the two main things we want to focus on, is death bowling, death batting. So who is so the reason I want to clarify is, when we are in our Diamond 1, who is our first pick? Ideal. And I want to rank the batters in terms of who we feel is first choice, second choice, third choice, and so on. Yeah. So let's say if we find Fox is available in that, do we pick him and then hope to get a number 3 later? Or do we prioritize number 3 spot earlier?
So is there anyone else we can get instead of Cox, you mean?
Yeah.
Like you said,
If you don't get Malan.
If we don't get Milan, are we picking Myers or Cox?
And at the moment, things are up in the air, and we haven't even made a final decision on the player that we're going to target in each of those categories. And for most of those decisions will be contingent on what the other teams choose.
Milan, we are picking in Diamond.
Yes.
Are there any chances somebody else will pick in Platinum?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the question is also, if we're picking a bowler in Platinum, which we're pretty sure we are, Diamond picking a batter, what are we picking in Gold, a bowler or a batter? So what we do is with the draft, because it's not an auction, so there's less variables. You know which pick number you have and which pick the other team has. So you can identify with the decision tree who you're picking when. So by the end of it, we will have everything mapped out in Nathan's book.
Yeah, obviously, he's like, if you look in the South Africa team, Rasti is the former player of the national team.
Yeah.
And he performed well in India. So he also played PSL for Islamabad as well. I don't know his performance or not, but current time he is performing very well in the World Cup. So he looks that, so the Dusan is the more than, I think so.
Actually, who's our... हमने एक बैकअप लोकल बैटरी पिक करना है. राम भाई कह दे. वो मंडा भी कराता है. राम भाई कह दे. यही बॉक्स है.
लेकिन कोई आदमी रास्कट तो नहीं है अंदर.
बिल्कुल सही है. ठीक है. डन. रीड ऑल रीड डन.
तो पूजन से क्या कहता है?
नहीं फिर अभी तो बहुत नहीं चाहिए तो लुशियस करेगा.
कहना डन कर.
नहीं उसने सिर्फ नाम लिया.
Acha, by the way, Tahir could be an option here because he's not getting picked by us. He's not getting picked by Zalmi. He'll be available in silver. Karachi could write a match, but Why not? So it's been two very, very heavy days in terms of how much we've all been thinking and the different scenarios and the different orders and different possibilities. So we're pretty much sorted now. All right, done. All right, now watch us cook. Who do you think we're picking? Oh, expectations.
If I had to bet,
Yep.
I would say that we'll get Milan.
Yep.
Willie, obviously. Milan. And then I think someone will pick Risa on
Yeah.
because of last night's knock.
Recency bias is everyone's favorite bias. I'm expecting at least two shocks. Two just left field picks out of nowhere. Just based on reputation alone. I hope so. Good for us.
We're indeed looking forward to a fantastic evening of the HPL PSL Draft 2024. We are now ready with the first category and the first pick of the night. And as you know, the first pick today belongs to Multan Sultans. Don't forget, there was a trade. कोयटा ग्लैडिएटर्स के साथ उनका हुआ है, कुछ प्लेयर्स उधर गए हैं, कुछ पिक्स इधर आई हैं, इफ्तिखार जो है कहीं और चले गए हैं. So ये सिलसिला जारी रहेगा. But the first pick of the night belongs to Multan Sultans in the platinum category, and उनका time शुरू होता है अब.
I would like our new GM Hijab to announce the first pick.
All right, Hijab is the new GM and she will make the announcement for Multan Sultans. Go on, Hijab.
I wasn't supposed to call that pick. it was supposed to be Ali calling that pick, but he passed it on to me. So I didn't really have much time to think about the fact that everybody is looking at me or everybody is watching me. I was just focused on the fact that मैं सही नाम ले लूँ बस कोई गलत नाम ना ले लूँ इस वक्त किसी player का.
देखो, as an owner, I've been part of PSL before. I have other things, that I do, but I really wanted to make everyone know that Hijab is the boss. So obviously the first pick and the first female GM in the history of PSL obviously had to be her.
So our first pick in platinum is David Willey.
All right, David Willey. They've opted for David Willey from England. He's a fast bowler. They were looking to bolster that aspect of their side. We're ready with Islamabad United. Rahanul Haq can announce.
So we've used a wild card to pick Jordan Cox in the platinum round.
When I saw Islamabad pick Jordan Cox, I was like, okay. But then again, I was like, we are going to pick,
Riza.
Milan.
Yeah. Milan was a diamond pick. Yeah. Cox was going to be our backup to Riza in gold. So.
Our diamond round pick is David Milan. David Milan provides enormous amounts of experience. He provides a left-handed option, either to open or bat at 3. And, he's a former number 1 ranked player in the world in T20 cricket. He's won World Cups with England, and he's got a very good record in Pakistan.
We're ready actually with Multan Sultan. They seem to have decided who they want in the gold category.
जी हमने gold में Riza Hendricks.
Riza Hendricks and Rizwan as an opening pair, cannot wait.
Next pick is Reece Topley.
Left-arm fast bowler Reece Topley has been picked by Multan Sultans all the way from England.
The fact that we've been able to pick David Willey, left-arm power play specialist, who's also pretty good at the death, and then Reece Topley, who's an ideal top and tail bowler. That means our bowling, the issues we had in power play and death, sorted.
I'm very happy to announce that we will be picking my personal favorite player, Shahnawaz Dhani.
We've got spin bowling already built into the team. And I think what you'll find is on pace-friendly tracks, we're going to have to play 4-seamers. And on spin-friendly tracks, what you're going to see is that those batting, spin bowling all-rounders are able to bowl more and be more effective.
We are extremely excited to announce that we have picked local fast bowler Muhammad Ali.
लेफ्ट आर्म फास्ट बॉलर, राइट आर्म फास्ट बॉलर्स, ऐसे फास्ट बॉलर्स जो नई बॉल बहुत अच्छी करते हैं, ऐसे फास्ट बॉलर्स जो डेथ बहुत अच्छी करते हैं. तो अगर आप देखेंगे तो आपको ऐसा नहीं लगेगा कि फास्ट हैवी या स्पिन हैवी या बैटिंग हैवी, आपको एक बैलेंस टीम नज़र आएगी.
We are delighted to announce our pick, death bowling specialist Chris Jordan.
So Chris Jordan was simple. We wanted a third reliable overseas fast bowler. Fast bowlers get injured, but also with someone like Chris Jordan, you get a huge amount of experience. A guy who is a fantastic bloke, and everyone will enjoy being around, and arguably the best fielder in the world.
We are happy to announce our last pick, Aftab Ibrahim.
Being a domestic coach, यहाँ पे मैंने बड़ा काम किया, मैंने देखा है ये बच्चा मेरे साथ अंडर पाकिस्तान 19 में भी खेला, और अभी रिसेंटली भी इसने T20 के अंदर बहुत अच्छी बॉलिंग की है. एक बच्चे को देखें, मेरे नज़र में, मैं एज बीइंग ए कोच, जो मेरी अपनी एक नज़र होती है, मैं जब किसी बॉलर को पिक करता हूँ तो मेरी सबसे पहली ये चीज़ होती है कि वो कितना कंसिस्टेंट है.
Congratulations to all the franchises. All the teams are looking really good, and that's pretty much it from here on the stage.
Oof, what a day. What a day.
So the draft is done and it's game time now.
ठीक है, day is done, draft is done, team is made, our job is complete. अब प्लीज़ मैं जा रहा हूँ, तुम लोग अब कोचेस तंग करना.